Hey, this is Saucy J here at Keep It Simple TV, back with another Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 6, Episode 19, The Reunion Part 2. I don't know why it's so hard for me to remember all that, but anyway, I'm back, as I said I would be, because I'm trying to stay on time with my reviews. So hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Hit the like button, whether up or down. That helps me with the algorithm. Hit the notification button so you can be made aware of all my new content. And last but definitely not least, leave a comment. Let me know that you stopped by, that you liked what I said or didn't. All comments are welcome, good, bad, or indifferent. Okay, so let's now get into my review of the part 2 of the reunion. And I may recap a little bit from the last one because I, left out some really good points, or maybe not. I don't know, because it's like they're back at it again. Candiace rightfully tells Mia that she brought her mother on the show and exposed her mother's problems to the world for a storyline. So if anyone's responsible for her mother's relapse, would be Mia herself. And Mia continues to lie and she said that her mother wanted to do it. The woman didn't want to do it. She would be on the show to support her, but she did not want to talk about her issues, her drug problems. She said it came out of her own mouth that she wasn't comfortable with that. So just like Candiace said, the mother didn't look comfortable with it. Mia continues to lie, but the fans are liking Mia. Go figure. Then let's see. Mia gets upset. And, and that's another thing. Mia's mother didn't even want to take care of her kids. So she couldn't even figure out what to feed a 13-year-old kid. So, Mia is just, her whole situation is full of lies. There's rumors that she's talking about not coming back to the show. I don't think she will be missed. No one really, because she was putting on an act and everybody was poking holes through her storyline. So either you're going to be able to handle the slings and darts and arrows that people are going to be throwing at you when you throw out slings, darts, and arrows, or you leave the show. So she's talking about not coming back. And then Mia threatens violence against Candiace, but that's okay because, Candiace's mouth is so lethal, that she's due for an ass whooping, according to Mia. And she says it right in front of in front of their boss. And tells Candiace, like kind of under her breath, but not under her breath, you better watch your back. I would, just like Karen ran to HR on Candiace, I would run to HR on Mia, because that was just going a little bit too far. And nothing Candiace said or did to Mia warrants that. It's, you brought your mother on the show. You kept telling everybody about your mother's situation, and that's that. So, and all that your mama business, like I said before in my last review, MTV had a whole show called Your Mama TV. Hosted by Wilmer Valderrama. So if it was good enough for MTV, Andy Cohen, I think Candiace saying Your Mama is fine. As well as Dr. Heavenly, Marlo, they have all said, and if I go back and watch other shows, you'll see where black women have told somebody Your Mama in an argument. So it is what it is. Karen she slides in there to Candiace because Candiace and Giselle are working in tandem against Candiace. It's obvious they do not want her back on the show. And we know that because Karen went to HR on Candiace because Candiace had told her in a tweet or something, she wanted Karen to burn in eternal hell. And that's like telling somebody, go to hell. But so Karen was trying to say that Candiace was wishing death on her, I guess going to be violent against her, whatever. And Candiace was saying, the same thing like I said, is that, that's just an expression. It's nothing worth going to, I'm saying this, HR over. I mean, people, the way they curse each other out on this show, it's like, that's mild in comparison. But Karen lies and says that what she and Giselle says does not cut to the bone. Cut to the tape where they show Karen talking about Giselle's fiery box, calling her a drunk, alcoholic, a drug addict. That doesn't cut to the bone? Okay. Giselle talking about, or maybe Ashley talking about Ray's genitalia, his tax issues. That doesn't cut to the bone. Your children watch this show. Your children, even if your children don't watch it, the parents of your children's friends watch it, and it gets to their friends. So you're putting out everybody's business. But anyway, they want to hold Candiace to a different standard. She's not in with the light-skinned crew. So, but they say it's no colorism on this show. Because they all do it. They ran the tape. They all went back. The whole body shaming. They were getting on Candiace for calling Ashley a wide body. Cut to the tape, or roll the tape, and show Ashley saying that Sharice's chest was, she had saggy breasts. And I cleaned it up. She said something else. But they still just feel like, what Candiace says is just so horrible. So now Andy goes into Mia about how she's she has taken over Candiace's role as being a disaster on Twitter. Mia is a disaster on Twitter. She goes in deep. She tells lies. Once again, she said that Candiace's husband wanted to toss her salad. Mia, you're a handsome woman. And that is a compliment for some women. They used to call Jacqueline Kennedy a handsome woman. That does not mean that no one's trying to refer to you as a man. You're just handsome. And I'm going to stick with that. I love Candiace that brought that up. I think she got that from somebody else. I think somebody else called me a handsome way before Candiace did. But anyway, once again, Mia lies, talking about she has a social media manager, and this social media manager happens to be her friend of 20 years, and she handles all her stuff. No, Mia, it was you. So Andy throws a question to Escala, asking Escala that, were you shaming Mia for being a stripper? And she was like, no, that's in her past. Whatever's in her past is in her past. I was trying to point out that every time you look around, she's talking about money and how much money she makes and what she does and how she's a boss. That's what she, it was just like you're bragging too much. You're boasting too much. It's like Wendy with the 4 degrees, but no one else is going in on her about that. No one from, I don't want to offend anybody that's light-skinned, but the light-skinned crew is not going in on Mia about her talking too much about how much money she makes, how she's a boss, how, her and G do whatever. And I mean, just the fact that when they went to the house, they was expected people to pick up their bags during a pandemic. No one was working. So sorry, you have to carry your own luggage in. But, she's all that in a bag of chips. And, so, she expects people to wait on her hand and foot. But, nobody bugs her about that. But we had to be offended by Wendy and her 4 degrees. So, and yeah, and I wrote in my notes, I wonder if Mia was Wendy's color could she get away with all that boasting about money, or would they be going in on her like they're going in on Wendy now? I don't think so. I don't think if Mia was my color or Wendy's color that she could have gotten away with all that boasting about, money and, uh, you know, looking down on people, and you were a stripper at a steak and lobster gentleman's club. Okay. Anywho, and after that, Andy dismisses the scholar, and even Mia was like, "Wow, that's all you brought her out here was for 2 sentences." That, I think they did a scholar dirty. I think a scholar should sit there, especially since we know Nicki Minaj is now going to come on the show and take over for a segment of the show and ask the lady questions. And she cracked on Mia while she was watching the show, saying that all she sees from Mia is facial expressions and fashions. And at least if you had allowed a scholar to sit there, that would have been nice. They could have hashed it out, talked that out in person. But for some reason, these shows do not like intelligent, dark-skinned black women. That's all that it is. Because I think Escala, is just as interesting as Robin. What did Robin give this season? Nothing. We know that relationship she has with Juan is a sham. Juan is still out there. And Ashley, why is she still on the show? I don't know. Other than the fact that it's that light-skinned, white privilege, whatever. So they take a break. At this point, all the light-skinned girls stick together and go to their rooms and check in on each other. Wendy is the only person that goes to Candiace's room. So Candiace should learn from this that she has no friends on this show, maybe other than Wendy. If they bring back a scholar, she might have a friend in a scholar, because her and a scholar seem to get along. But I don't think a scholar is messy enough for them, and will she be able, and she has a little bit of a backbone, and she's just not going to take anything that Giselle says roll over. She's going to stick up for herself, and she's going to cut to the chase. Like when she noticed that Giselle kept asking about everybody else's relationship, she's like, okay, well, what's going on in your life? What's going on with you and Jamal Bryant? Yeah, Giselle didn't want to open up about that, but that's okay. Because really, we should just call this the Giselle Bryant show, not the Real Housewives of Potomac. So, whatever. But I like the fact that Wendy goes in there and Wendy tells Candiace that she has her back. And so they talk about it. One of the things I didn't like was that Candiace was saying that she was a bitch. I don't think Candiace is a bitch. I've watched. Candiace wants everybody to get along. She wants to party and have a good time. I think the ladies think they can just run over Candiace for whatever reason. Maybe it's her size. They feel like she's a spoiled brat. So what? She was fortunate enough to be born to 2 doctors. It is what it is. When it came out to handing out parents, Candiace lucked up. So what? Get over it. But yeah, so so Wendy tells her that, so Candiace says she's a bitch, and, yeah, she will go into the gutter. And then Wendy tells her, well, your gutter is everybody else's hell. I mean, he's like, they're like, think what you say is worse. Even though Candiace didn't say anybody had a disease, Candiace didn't try to bring up the fact that someone's child may not, somebody may not be the father of their son, Monique. What she says lands. And to me, the true bitches on the show is Giselle, Karen, and Ashley. Those are the bitches, and those are the favorites. Andy likes them. Then they go in about what Karen said about Giselle. Where did she get that from? And Karen says she got all that stuff from the blogs, but Giselle didn't deny it or respond to it. So that's their big thing was, see how they can go at each other? They didn't hit each other. Well, well, Candiace didn't hit Monique. Candiace would have kept going back and forth, going, but Monique couldn't handle it because the girls were enjoying Candiace's shade. They were enjoying it. They were laughing. They were enjoying it. And at that point, Candiace had seen red. So, I mean, not Monique had seen red and just attacked Candiace. She attacked Candiace. We all saw it. Monique started it. She started the fight verbally, and she attacked Candiace. I don't know where this is that somebody can literally goad you into verbally sparring back and forth, and then they get to hit you because they couldn't handle what you were saying. But you're supposed to take it. I've been there, Candiace. I've been that girl, but nobody's beat me up. But I've been that. Like, oh, okay, you could say everything to me, but when I respond, oh, now we want to go, get upset, go cry in a corner, or I don't like her, don't be friends with her. It is what it is. Sorry, you have that cloud hanging over your head. And so I was mentioning something about Robin, but Robin, anyway, I used to like Robin, but not this season. Robin really doesn't need to come back, but I know she will come back because Giselle needs a friend, and so I guess I would be protecting Giselle's back if it means I could get a check every year, because they don't have much else going on as far as money. I don't know how much Juan makes as a coach. I think he's a coach at one of the HBC. I think is it historically black college university or something. HBCU schools. I forget what school he's a coach at. But I'm thinking Robin at this point may make more than Juan. I don't know, but that check is needed. So yeah, so I guess she's going to be glued to, her lips are going to be glued to Giselle's backside. But Karen doubles down, so they discuss all the stuff. So they agree that it was, the stuff about Giselle having a fiery box, being, what else? Oh, going to Sing Sing, all that was a lie from this blog that got everybody's business wrong, right? So they agreed on that, but Karen doubles down that Giselle was a broken hoe from Hampton. And like Candiace pointed out, oh, that's not bad. That doesn't cut to the white meat. But, so Andy wants to see if Giselle and Karen can say one positive thing to each other. And Giselle talks about how I'm skipping to a different section. Andy asks Wendy, don't you think it's hypocritical that Giselle wants Karen to apologize for what she said about Jamal, but she won't apologize to you what she said about Eddie and others? Giselle denies it. Wendy points out that Giselle went around and discussed the rumors from this, blog about Eddie cheating on her with everyone but herself. And, Wendy still has her foot on the gas. Like I said last time, she still has her foot on Giselle's neck and she's still pressing. And she says, Giselle brings up, she says that, Giselle didn't apologize for that. So Giselle brings up, but you looked at my daughter all cockeyed, Giselle's words, which I think it was a stretch. They showed the clip. Wendy was looking at Grace. She might have noticed what I noticed, that, Grace put on some weight. I don't know. Because I thought because she kept holding stuff in front of her stomach. I don't know. To me, when you start doing that, either, something else might be on the way, or you just might have gained weight. Or she could have been looking at her like, she didn't speak to me. I didn't really feel like she was looking at her cockeyed, but she was staring at her. And Wendy just went ahead and said, you know what? I'm sorry for that. I was not thinking anything bad. She was just like, you know what? I apologize to Grace. So Wendy then says, okay, now you apologize to Carter and Cruz for the mess that you kept up. Giselle says no, she's not going to apologize because she actually was standing up for their father by putting it out that he cheated on their mother and may have, got somebody pregnant at his law firm. All rumors that are untrue. But she's not going to apologize for that. Excuse me. And she didn't. She didn't apologize to that. And everybody was backing up Giselle. Okay, but what about the harmful stuff you said about her children's father, which they can read and they're old enough to understand? So, Karen, they asked Karen about the whole sing comment. She blows it off. They also point out that Karen said that Giselle is a drunk and a drug addict. But they say Candiace's words are worse. Karen then says to Andy she has regrets, and she says to Candiace, I have regrets. Do you have regrets? And Candiace was like, yes, I have regrets. But the point is, she's not going to say she's worse than, what she says is so worse than anybody else, and that she is the cause of why Monique attacked her. She's not going to do that. And I don't blame her. I wouldn't do it either. So, when Candiace says she has regrets, Ashley rolls her eyes. They don't believe her. So it just really comes down to a point that these ladies really don't like Candiace and they want her off the show. We'll never know why. We can all say it stems from colorism, but it may be something more. Andy then asked, Giselle and Karen to say a positive thing to each other. And then Giselle brings up about how Karen didn't disrespect her children. She immediately got up and greeted them and hugged them. And that just made Giselle get emotional. I'm like, okay, now you're getting emotional for Andy. You letting Andy know that you really want this job. So you're going to act the way he wants you to act. He wants you to show some emotion. So you bring up some fake tears. But what really got me about that scene was, why was Candiace rubbing Giselle's back? Giselle has been on your neck this whole series. Even during the break, she's, coming at you and telling you that you need to change your ways. You got to edit yourself. You got to do this. Like, if you don't do this, you're going to be off the show. And you just, Candiace, you won't get a clue. You just won't get it. I would never rub her back, because you were nice enough. You recognized her daughters. You spoke to all of her daughters. You even let her daughter drive your car, your truck. And I want to know if Giselle paid for the damage to your truck that your daughter caused. But the only person you can get teary-eyed about is Karen. So it's clear. And then Karen said some stuff to her, and they're just really gearing up for next season so that they can be back on the show and they can just keep doing this Tom and Jerry thing back and forth. And that's what we're watching here, because these ladies have no lives. They're, okay, she remarried her husband of how many years? Okay, yeah, fine. That's done. But what's really going on? Nothing. Other than these people fighting back and forth. I mean, if they get rid of Candiace, what are they going to do? Nobody's interested in Ashley and her funny-looking kids. I'm sorry, I'm not. They really could get rid of Ashley and Candiace. I mean, get rid of. They could get rid of Robin, Ashley. I know they're thinking about getting rid of Candiace because supposedly Andy gets all these tweets every day to fire Candiace. Well, I'm sure he got tweets to fire Erica, Lisa Rinna, who else? Ramona, Luann. I mean, Leah. I know he got Twitter, tweets regarding Leah from Real Housewives of New York. So then they get on to Ashley. Are you interested? I'm not. She does something with her placenta. Didn't she do that before? Or she's stretching it out? Who cares? Michael says he wants to be a movie producer. Everybody automatically thinks he wants to go into porn. And Wendy asks what type of movies. Ashley ignores her. And then Andy brings it up, porn. And then she's like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, you do know, because your husband is a pervert. And then they bring up the body shaming. And, once again, they point out other people have said stuff and worse. Then Candiace brings up how, she thinks Ashley is a colorist. I agree because she referred to Candiace's hair as dry. Yeah, of all the insults to say to a person, you bring up dry hair for dark skinned black women. Okay, because your hair is not dry, right? Right, because Ashley's supposed to be biracial. I don't think so. I think your mother lied. Maybe she found another light skinned black man. I don't know. But your supposed biological father, who doesn't want to have anything to do with you, he knows the truth. He knows that you're not his child, and that's why he left your mother before you were born or during whatever. Your father had nothing to do with you. So your supposed father. So I love this when Candiace tells Ashley, because Ashley starts to go in on Candiace about how she's tired of this whole colorism thing being brought up. She's not colorist. I love when Wendy put on her reporter hat and puts that bass in her voice to ask her a question. Do you agree that there is colorism in society? And Ashley's like, yes. But what about here? Is there color? No. Nobody here is colorist. She's lying. And I love when Candiace told her, Ashley, earn your check another way, not through me. And I wish that Candiace, I was sitting and watching it, and I wish that Candiace would have just left it there, just like never just treated her, paid dust. I'm trying to get my notes in order. Yeah. So I have my notes right. I'm sorry. I just wish that, what's her name? Candiace would have just ignored her, paid her dust after she said, earn your check another way. Ashley came back. I earned my check before you got on here. Yeah, but you're keeping your check. But I would have said, you keeping your check by keep going after me. I'm not giving you no more energy. Andy, next question, because and I would have turned my back just like this. And whatever she said, it would just fell on deaf ears. Just let her be yelling like the banshee that she is. Then they go in on Zen Win, all that stuff for what's her name? Wendy. And Wendy says that's what her husband called her. Then they talk about the 1 wick candle versus the 3 wick candle. And it turns out Karen did mention long time, 3 seasons ago, when she first talked about Ladam, which I'm happy to say I have here with me. I don't know if you can see this. I might have to turn off my ring light so you can see it. There it is. And let's turn it back on. Here's the product I have. Let's just do it now because these ladies are bickering and we're never going to get to it. So, is it so long? So, anyway, Karen had, and she did. You see where she says she's going to have a candle with the fragrance of Ladam. Here's the little, and I got the little roller bottle. I'm cheap. Plus, and this doesn't look clear. This bottle doesn't. I don't know if there's plastic on it, but here it is, but it's not clean. But, okay. This is what I got. I got the little rollerball because I wasn't sure of I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, I wasn't sure of the scent. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to get it, because when she first put it out, Wendy, was it last year, Wendy, when she hugged Karen, she was like, the scent is you smell so good. So, and it was a natural response to Karen. So I said, oh, it must smell good and Karen's like, it was Ladam, So I missed getting it on HSN when it was cheaper. I went directly to Karen's website and ordered it, paid $35 for it. I was not going to pay $85 for a scent that I wasn't sure of. I'm very particular with my scents. I had tried to get Wendy's candle, on Ye. They were all sold out. All her candles were sold out. I'm trying to remember what was available. But the candle was so, even the different scents, I said, okay, fine, I won't get on you. I'll get something else. Everything was sold out. So Wendy, you proved Andy wrong. He was like, you should have did this, and Mia got her candle out before you did. Well, that's because Mia bought into a line that was already out. They were already made, and I think it's something to do with charity, and you could slap your name on them. That's why. But she didn't do like Wendy formulate her own scent and really went about making her own candle. But we know Mia's a liar. Everything with her is a little bit shady. So, and I think one of the reasons why Mia might not be coming back is because we'll probably get the real reason why they got the money the way they got the money. Just like we're finding out on Beverly Hills that Erica was married to a thief. So anyway. It smells good. It really does. Has a little spice. It really smells good. It's good for this time of year too, because it has a little musk to it. And it has an interesting scent. It smells good. It's not a young fragrance, but it really does smell good. She really did it. I don't know if I would want this in a candle, but it definitely smells good. It almost reminds me of Calvin Klein's Endless Euphoria, but it does really smell good. So $35. I forget how much shipping was. It actually came from Great Falls, Virginia. I think that's where she lives. So yeah, really, I'm impressed. It really does smell good. Okay, and so getting back to the candles, we're gonna wrap this up. Oh yeah, and we're gonna talk about some. Getting back to the candles, this is kind of spicy. It's like a musk scent. So yeah, just a little bit right now, goes a long way. I'm more of a tuberose type person, but yeah. So we know that now that Wendy's candles are out, just so you guys know, they're all sold out. And Wendy's like, okay, well, I gotta, Karen's like, well, my candle is 3 wicks. Wendy's like, well, guess what? I got a 5 wick and 7 wick candle. Maybe those might still be available, but they might have been really expensive. But I went on her website. It seemed like everything I clicked on was sold out. So anyway, and then they talk about Happy and Ness, which was Wendy's breast implants. And, Wendy opened up about all her surgeries because supposedly a viewer asked Andy to ask her a question about that. We know that these questions are really Andy asking these questions. And Wendy, said I had, after she breastfed all 3 of her children, and her breasts were, you can see they had been through it. Because, she was walking around with the breast pump machine. So she did what, mothers can do now, get the mommy glow up. And so she got a breast lift, and then they went back in and put in implants. And then she got a BBL, which everybody should know what that is now. That's where they take fat out of your stomach and other areas and give you a butt lift. So she went with she advises everybody to go to do their research and make sure they get a board certified plastic surgeon. And because we all know what happened with Kanye West's mother, she didn't go with a board. I don't think he was board certified plastic surgeon. And you can unfortunately die from having these procedures, even with board certified physician. I mean, that's a very serious surgery, but you would have better chances of surviving and probably better results if you went with a board certified plastic surgeon. So it's really pissing me off that these ladies are acting like Wendy because she's a professor. Why would she do this? Is she, why is she acting all like this? Well, Wendy just met you guys last year. Now she's comfortable with you guys. She's going to be a little bit more outgoing. She's comfortable in front of the camera. And she wants to stay. And you guys are doing your best to get her off the show because you're trying to save your spot on the show. So this show has devolved into WWE. It's nothing like when it first came on, the ladies would try to throw charitable events. Uh, do we even see them shopping? But of course, it was filmed during the pandemic. Parts of it, the country hadn't fully reopened, so we didn't get the shopping scenes, the lunch scenes. I think we got one scene where Giselle and Robin met up with Mia out somewhere, but it's really like it's very nasty. They're going to have to do some changes to get this show back on track. So they want to, so like Wendy said, having a candle business or having another business is something in her wheelhouse. Exactly. Why can't people that are professors do things to make themselves enhance their beauty, start a side business? Aren't we all doing that now? So what's the point? What's the difference? What's the big deal? At least she brought something interesting to the show. Robin, what did you bring? Ashley, what did you bring? Nothing. No storyline, nothing. So, and one of the other lines I like is when she told Andy, how is it, going back and forth with these girls. She was like, hey, if I can, deal with the White House press secretary, I think I can handle them. And that's where we're going to leave it. A lot of other little pettiness went on because that's pretty much what this show is devolving into, a little petty show. But anyway, I got the fragrance. We will see. I have read reviews from other people. They said this scent don't last too long. We'll see how long it lasts. But yeah, it smells really good, and it smells expensive. It does smell expensive. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next review. Bye.